If you look at even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, well, I think he 16, 17 Grammys. See, their kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. Jay got all the trophies, man. That's because he signed that contract.
What contract?
The one with Beyonce.
It seems that even after exposing the likes of Oprah and P. Diddy, 50 Cent is still not done unmasking the sleazy world of the top Hollywood execs, and this time, he has picked a fight with the biggest of the biggest, Jay-Z and Beyonce themselves. And unlike all his previous exposés, this one might come and bite 50 back, since Jay-Z has taken notice of this insolence. But what exactly has Fifth said to piss off Jay-Z? Is there any truth to his claims? And what is Jay's response to this whole matter? Watch until the end to find out the answer to these questions and much more. Fans of 50 should already be familiar with the fact that the artist has a history of saying his mind, even if it gets him in trouble. In the past, he has talked about Oprah's shady connections at the top of Hollywood and alleged grooming rings involving people like Diddy and Michael Rubin. But while these things cover some of the most controversial things in Hollywood, that is not all 50 has talked about. You see, while people like the ones we just mentioned are often involved in similar scandals by other people, the target of 50's claims this time is a couple that is generally considered universally beloved, those being the Carters themselves. For years, both Jay-Z and Beyonce have enjoyed both critical and commercial success, with the couple having amassed a combined total of 52 Grammys, not to mention that they are both worth hundreds of millions of dollars, Jay-Z himself being the richest rapper in history with a net worth of around $2.5 billion. And while most people would consider them to be unproblematic, 50 has revealed some shocking things about the two that, if proven true, paint a very different picture of the two. You see, 50 believes that not only are Jay-Z and Beyonce part of the Hollywood elite club, their fame and awards are not because of their raw skill, but because of this connection. In particular, he is saying that Jay-Z has amassed his fame and awards simply because he is married to Beyonce, whom many believe to be one of Hollywood's secret elite. According to Fifth, Huff only started winning his awards after he got married to Beyonce. In fact, he goes as far as to say that all of his fame and accolades came as the result of signing a quote-unquote contract with Beyonce. And while we can't talk about it being a contract, going through Jay's career, it's not hard to see where 50 is coming from. As a young rapper, Jay-Z had only managed to win a single award, which, while still impressive, is nothing compared to the 22 awards that he won after he got married. And the situation gets even more suspicious when you take the timing into account. And sure, you could chalk it up to him having matured, but it's hard to deny that it is at least a little suspicious that so many of his awards come in close connection to his relationship with Beyonce. And his own awards are far from the only suspicious set of awards in the family. As Fifth explained himself in a recent interview with XXL Mag, Beyonce and Jay-Z's influence goes so deep that even their children, none of whom are even adult artists in their own right, also have Grammys of their own. And at least according to him, all of this is a strategy by the Hollywood culture to keep the Carter family on top. As the artist explained in the fiery interview,
They don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit.
Now, there are some people who claim that 50 has been saying these things just because he is jealous of their success. But here's the thing, according to other reports, the reason 50 doesn't have a comparable level of success, at least on the awards side, is because he says stuff like this. That's right. According to Fifth, he has actually been blacklisted by the elites because of his trying to expose Hollywood's evil practices. The most famous example of this is when he was kept out of the 2004 edition of the Grammys in spite of the massive critical and commercial success of his debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin'. For those of you who don't know, the record in question was one of the best-selling hip-hop records of all time when it came out, and shot straight to the top of the charts, all of which got pretty excited to see how it would fare at the Grammys. But against all expectations, 50 wasn't even allowed to attend the event, let alone speak at it or receive an award. As he recently talked about the experience, later, people look at it and they honor those things, he said. It didn't matter to me in that time period. I was like, fuck it, don't give me the trophy. So what? They didn't give me Best New Artist, and I sold 13 million records. That's the largest debuting hip-hop album. Now, while at the time 50 didn't care about the award and was content with his actual real-world success, he has since grown to question what had happened as nearly 2 decades of industry experience have taught him about the shady stuff that happens behind the scenes. A huge and very recent example of this is the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. As everyone who is even slightly familiar with the event should know, getting to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show is one of the biggest things anyone can get to do during their career. And for those of you who remember, this year, the whole thing was being arranged by Dr. Dre and was set to feature some of the biggest R&B and hip-hop names of the decade. And while everyone loved all of the artists, according to deep insider reports, behind the scenes, 50's inclusion in this event was nothing short of controversial. As recently divulged by media personality and podcaster Noor, Jay-Z, who is a longtime friend of Dr. Dre's and helped set up the event, had simply refused to allow 50 to appear on stage. During an interview with Snoop Dogg on his Drink Champs podcast, Noor asked Dogg if he knew what had happened with another skipped name from the roster, Dre's former Aftermath Records artist, The Game, who wasn't invited to perform. And while Snoop simply said that it was Dre's decision since it was his show and he only had 12 minutes to do it all in, Noor revealed a different story. If you don't know already, Jay-Z is the media strategist for the NFL's live performances, and according to Noor, it was Jay who was making these calls. And according to him, Jay was not in the mood for including 50 had someone very important not called. This alone should be enough to tell you that Jay is not too keen on working with or even allowing 50 to create music, all because of what the rapper has been saying about him and his family. And while this matter is far from resolved, this is where it sits for now. So I'd like to now pass this question off to you. What do you think is the truth here? Are Jay-Z and Beyonce really part of some Hollywood club? Or does Jay-Z deserve all those awards and 50 is simply jealous? Let us know in the comments below and click on one of the videos on your screen right now.